financial markets, cryptocurrency, gold and silver, world news.
Fair to say you simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills. That actually increases the money supply.
Financial Turmoil Explained.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you guys here this afternoon. Today is Wednesday, the 20th, I think? Yeah, 20th of July, 2022. Now, I was looking through news stories this morning. I saw something very interesting. Over in Japan right now, they got a monkey in some city in Japan. I think it was Osaka or something like that, name of the city. They got a monkey that's terrorizing the population. What he does is he breaks into people's homes and he crouches on the floor and he waits for them to come in, like to surprise them, and a nasty surprise at that. And then he jumps on them and scratches them and stuff, and then he goes running for it. He's a bad monkey. I don't think he's very big, but he's been terrorizing. I think this week alone he's been like 20 attacks in different people's houses and stuff. And so they're hunting for this monkey in Japan. I thought that story was kind of interesting because normally monkeys don't do things like that. Like, this monkey's got insane or something, But it's not undifferent than the people. Nowadays, people are starting to go insane around, So you got to be careful because people are just like, they're like a spring that's been wound up and they're ready to explode, And some people, you don't know what they're going through out there, really, And so you got to treat people with a lot of respect nowadays, because you don't know what they're going through. You might think, my life is horrible, but their life might be a lot worse, and they might just not know which way to turn. So it's still the same process is continuing in China right now, as I talked about yesterday. China's starting to deflate, and it's starting a deflationary spiral in the system. I don't know which way this whole thing's going to swing, whether the whole thing's going to swing now toward deflation or inflation, hyperinflation in the system. But it just seems to be consistent knowledge that if they continue to print vast amounts of money, that the money should not be worth more. That's a logical conclusion to all of this. If they're going to print more and more money, money's going to be worth less and less and less. And this is the way it's been proceeding. But you can get the system the system can actually go through a sudden deflation because all the money is credit. The credit can disappear suddenly, and you get it's almost like an enormous margin call, or enormously the system is saying it's deleveraging. This is called a deleveraging, and if it's big enough, if the event is big enough, the deleveraging is big enough, it becomes almost unstoppable in what's called a self-feeding, self-perpetuating, deflationary cycle. It's like each time it goes down a step, it creates more energy for itself as the money disappears from the system. So we could have that actually happening because the central banks right now are going through a tightening phase right now that could cause a deleveraging within the system. But bar a deleveraging event, the system's going to continue to go toward inflation. And we already see double-digit inflation in the United States of America and in other countries. And the central banks are more than likely going to pivot pretty soon, which is going to give them back more toward the inflation rather than this deflationary scenario that we're going through. So we're going through this little phase right now. This lasts a little while. Now I'm going through a little phase with my channel here where I'm waiting on equipment to come in so that I can start producing my show the way I normally produce my show rather than just off of my phone like I'm doing right now. And so I'm also waiting for that so that I can do the pets segment that I've been wanting to do for a little while now. I have the pets photos ready on one side, but I can't really post them on this format for now. So you guys are going to have to be patient for a few more days. I've had to be patient waiting for the equipment to come, computers and stuff like that. And then I got to reformat everything up with new software. So these are trying times we're in. And, you guys are going to find that there's going to be food shortages. And I know you've heard about the food shortages coming. I want to explain about that. They're already starting. We got 3 million people under food shortage right now, and that number is growing rapidly. And I'm talking about serious food shortage right now, where they do not have food to eat, like 3 million people in Africa. And that number is going to be growing exponentially over the next coming months. But I do not see starvation coming to the United States or the United Kingdom. I don't see starvation coming for these countries, but we're going to see massively higher food prices is what we're going to see. So your cost of food could, honestly, it could go up like 50% or numbers like that over the next year. So you could be paying like half again more for your food. Now, if your food budget is very constrained, like a lot of people out there, then the quality of how you eat is going to be adversely affected. People are going to start to eat things more like spaghettis, things more like simple, cheap foods that they ordinarily don't eat. Some of these foods are very fattening. So the overall effect, you'd think here in North America that this would make the population thinner. But as the quality of their food diminishes, they buy more things like empty calories, things like Twinkies and soda pop to make up for these higher priced foods that they're not getting. Things like steak and hamburger that keep people lean, they can't afford anymore. So they're out there buying things like pasta, which make you fat, and that's cheaper foods. So as they start to switch over to try to still maintain their calorie intake by switching to cheaper foods, they end up getting a little bit actually plumper than they were before. And this could actually be the net end effect for North America here, is where we end up eating a lot of cheaper foods than we were eating, because you just can't afford a steak anymore. So you have to settle for maybe a meat that's full of fat, got a lot of fat mixed in with it or whatever, it's just... Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you guys in the next show, and you guys have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.